Hey guys, how are you today? I'm making a impromptu video. There's been some messages that came through recently, and I did a video on similar subject last year. This is not new information. It's just more important, I think, and I believe that people in the collective are in a space because of all the frequencies that have come in, all the solar energy, the big spikes in the Schumann resonance that you've seen, the galactic energies, the lunar energies, all those things have helped to activate latent DNA and the hues. So whether they actively want to know or actively want to be inquisitive, they're being pushed to listen to the nudges in their soul, right? To question. And so now I feel like it's time to revisit this subject. And I will try my very best not to kind of go off on a tangent, but when I'm totally unscripted, who knows what's going to happen. So, as part of what I do when I do an energy clearing, is I clear people of negative AI and black goo, of many things that get cleared. And when I was first being trained, I thought, what's black goo? And it's come about the way that we encounter black goo is through all of our devices. It is a negative AI byproduct that is intentionally gleaned in from the use of the negative AI devices. So your cell phone, your laptop, your smart home, your Bluetooth. A lot of things are inherently on the surface, they seem like they're going to just make your life so much easier, right? And we buy it. I'm guilty of it myself. We buy it. We're like, oh yeah, let's just download that app. Let's just put all of our information in there. It's going to make it so easy, right? And then I learned what I know now, and now I understand the pitfalls of how easy we give our power away. Whenever we talk about taking our power back, it makes it sound like you're gonna walk up to someone and like literally, physically take your power back. And that's not exactly what we mean. Yes, that could be, but it's not exactly what we mean. Our our energy, our frequency, our power, it's inherent. It's what we have. We don't want to give it away. We want to protect it. Okay, we know that now. Growing up, we were never taught any of this. This is all things that we've had to scrape and claw and fight to find our way to the truth and realize that honoring that really makes a huge difference in our lives day to day. And so these are some things that I feel like if I just touch on them again, maybe frequency has risen in the collective, and so that the message might get received a little bit better. It might make a little bit more sense to people. So when we're using any electronic device, and a lot of the newer apps and programs and things are negative AI. And so you go, well, how do I know, Nicole? Well, for me, because I'm clear and I maintain a clear energy field, I have communication with my higher self, source creator, all the angels, ascendant masters, archangels, blah, blah, blah. I ask, is Chat GPT negative AI? That's what I do. That's how I navigate my life now. I no longer just take for granted what Nicole's brain thinks and says that's what I should do. Because the brain is the most manipulated part of our body. And then the brain is influenced by the ego. And the only purpose of the brain and the ego is to satisfy themselves in the moment. The brain and the ego are only for this life and this avatar. But your soul, your higher self, is a culmination of all your lives. So that's all your wisdom. All of the good and the bad is stored there that you can tap into, that you have access to within yourself, within your own being. How do you get there? Well, you have to clear your energy field. You have to get rid of all the negative distortions. You have to understand that we grow up in a society that is created to make it very, very hard for us to ascend and raise our frequency. We're kept in a fear, shame, blame, frustration, anger state, which is all very low vibrational. We're taught to be divisive, again, low vibrational. And then the more that we look outside of ourselves, the more powerless we feel. That we feel like, well, how can I change anything? Because I'm just me. And don't I have to have power? Don't I have to have position to change anything? Not for you. And maybe not for the masses. For you, you have the ability to change your habits that have not served you well and course correct back to source creator. So then you are in alignment and things begin to flow and you start to ride the waves of happiness, joy, bliss, positivity, right? And so it's truly starts with you. You want to change your environment. You want to change your trajectory. You want to change your circumstances. Then you start by changing things in your own life. And when it comes to negative AI, that means you're going to have to get up off your butt and get rid of some of these apps that have made you lazy. I know, tough love time. Sorry, but you need to hear it. We've always heard, well, most of us have heard, that the devil's not going to come looking like the devil. He's going to come talking sweetness and convenience and ease and things that we are going to be enticed by. Well, doesn't that sound like some of the smart home ads that you may have heard? Like, oh, the convenience of turning your lights on by your smartphone. Oh, the convenience of unlocking your house from your office because your kid forgot their key. Oh, the convenience of adjusting the thermostat from your bed, from your smartphone app, because you got to bed and realized you left it on 78, you needed to be on 74, like whatever. All of it came wrapped in a bow of you're too busy to have to go get up and walk and adjust the thermostat. Your time is too valuable to bother yourself with these menial tasks. So we've developed an app for that. Again, totally guilty of it whenever it first started. Then I had to ask myself, why does my phone always show me ads for things that I've just had conversations with other people in a room with my phone, not even on my phone, but it's listening? That's a true statement. That happens. If you don't believe me, test it with your own device. Smart device. Try it out. There are algorithms that are listening. It is exactly how and why recently, I believe it was New York State, was able to admit into evidence of a criminal trial the transcripts held by Google on a device that was in the kitchen, just in the kitchen, while two people were in the kitchen talking about arranging a hit on another person. That device was recording that conversation. That recording, that transcript was entered into evidence in that court. If it doesn't mean anything, then why did that happen? Then why does those things happen? So let's talk about smart home. Super convenient, right? Control everything by one keypad. That's pretty scary in today's world when you have people that want you to believe that cow farts are destroying the climate. And they are perfectly happy with you being completely frozen to death and their grid offline for the sake of climate. So if they decide, whoever they are, decide that you, with your Republican registration to vote, which is available online, because you do it when you get your driver's license or whatever. That you register to vote any kind of way you want now these days. And then they go look you up and they see that you're posting anti-government and you're starting to be a free thinker. Oh, we can't have these free thinkers. They're a detriment to society. Well, they could literally lock you in your home. What would you do if everything on your grid for your home, your light, your heating and cooling, your water, your refrigerator, like all of it rebelled and was no longer working for you, but was working against you? These are true things that can possibly happen and have happened. There are people that have been locked out of their thermostat because they didn't pay their bill, because they're struggling like everyone else to buy food, put gas in their car, go to work, get shit pay, and not have enough because of inflation to pay for all the bills at one time. So they're staggering them and they get locked out of their thermostat. So the company doesn't cut you off because that would be bad press, but you can't drop your thermostat under 78 in, for air conditioning. That's not a whole lot cooler than outside temperatures. Most places it's warmer. So think about it. Negative AI wants us to be dependent on external apps and external knowledge, and fosters a dependency on what comes from outside of us, right? And sells it by saying you're too important, your time is too valuable, you don't need to get up and walk 6 steps to the thermostat to adjust it, or whatever the case may be. This is how we actually sign up for and give our power away. There's certain times where I've said, it's time to take your power back. And people go, well, I never gave my power away. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. As soon as you sign the consent, the I accept to use an iPhone, you gave a lot of your power away. It's not any different with any of the other negative AI devices and apps. Black goo leaches in to our energy, and it's got a program. It's just like you've probably by now seen the videos of graphene oxide that can be programmed to do things and respond to frequency. Well, the black goo is very similar. It's just more of a liquid. And so it travels a little bit differently, but it's all programmed to do something specific, not in your highest and best good. I can guarantee it. So whenever you look at, well, gosh, why is negative AI bad? And how is how do I know negative AI from good AI? Because in all things, there's good and bad. Well, for me, I go with my gut and I ask. But if you're not clear, there's no point in asking. Like, you can go with your gut, you can go with your intuition. You can't mess with that. But if you're so conflicted, then you're not going to get a true response to it. Your bias. Like if you really, really love starting, I don't know. I guess what some people do is they lower the temperature and turn the lights on their home before they get home. So it's like perfect when they walk in or something. So if you're really, really enjoying that feature, are you going to be super supportive of getting rid of it? No. Your energy is going to be swayed in that answer. So the best thing to do is to have someone else or get completely clear so that you can actually ask the question yourself. Compare and contrast the two. So good AI doesn't ask you to turn over all your power, right? Good AI is basically doing something that makes your life easier, like just general functions on a laptop, Word documents, like that kind of stuff, like kind of just old school technology. There's some new things that are coming out that's also good AI, but you really have to discern. And what is discernment? Discernment is not listening to your brain and your ego. That's not discernment. Discernment is going within, deep down, in your heart, in your body, in your soul. And your spirit is guiding your inclination or not to do something or not. Christ consciousness, unity consciousness, oneness, the age of Aquarius, fifth dimensional life, where we're headed. People that choose that by a natural byproduct of ascension, which is rising in your frequency. As you rise in your frequency, your power increases. A natural byproduct of that is we get less dependent on devices and we crave our true power source, which is nature, the great central sun, the heart power core of the planet, source creator. So we pivot away and course correct from all the electronics and all the apps and all the devices, and we go back to nature. So when people say, oh, those new agers, we're not new. We're actually going back to very ancient times that was accepted and worked very, very well before negative AI came in and started to try to take over the world. And they're not doing it by force. Again, most people are enamored with this high tech and they think, oh, this is a great thing. This is a great invention. This is going to be great. And they don't perceive the dangers, the inherent dangers of giving their power away, but they're doing it willingly. And that is what the universe has seen. The people of Earth have willingly been giving up their power and being allowed to be controlled for a very long time. Now, there's a big line of demarcation now between those that have woken up and said, not anymore, not for me, and not for mine. And then there's those that are still got the rose-colored glasses on. They're like, well, but nothing's happened to me, so it's probably okay for me. I'll just be careful. I'll just use a VPN. Anyway, everybody has free will choices to make. When you go out into nature, you're going to feel the difference when you leave the device in the car and you really don't have the distractions that go along with all the apps and all the dinging and all the chiming and all the distractions, because you can focus on yourself and you really benefit from the core power that we get when we ground our feet to the planet. And we ask Father Sky and Great Central Sun to clear our energy bodies and recharge our energy bodies. And it's in the silence and the peace and the calm of nature that we remember that we actually had power. Because in all the chaos of the negative AI world, they don't want you to ever realize that you ever had power without them giving it to you. Now, why am I saying this again? Because it's coming back up. It's come back up in a major way. Other channelers, other messages are coming through that people are being warned again against the dangers of negative AI. Negative AI is the Antichrist. I go on record here. Negative AI is the Antichrist. Negative AI is what wants you to only serve what is outside of you and ignore what is inside of you. And that is because what is inside of you is divine. What is inside of you, when you have a soul and you are in alignment to source creator, you're of the light. Every bit of your power is within you. You have to protect it and keep it clear. And as your frequency rises, you get more and more abilities and you get more and more power, and you become the most powerful beings in the universe because we have free will choice. We have psychic abilities, we have clear abilities. We have a good heart, we have our good intentions, and we are divinely protected. That's why we have been so highly coveted for millions of years. Now, this can sound overwhelming. It can be overwhelming if you let it. But really and truly, just look at your own environment. What do you have on your phone? What we do, what I recommend in our group, and I'll just throw up a meme every now and again, like Now's the time to clear your devices. What I ask people to do is go through their app library and just ask their higher self, is this negative AI? Is this in my highest and best good? Like something simple that you can kind of run through all your apps. The ones that you get a no, remove them and stop using them. I promise you, your life will continue to go on without the app. You may be able to reconnect and do something that you haven't done in a long time without the app. So it's come through that the split, right? The shift, the event. Those beings that are souled beings, SOULD beings that are in alignment to source creator of the light and choose source, Christ consciousness. They are elevating in their frequency, getting all their abilities, all their power, and they are ascending to the fifth dimensional Hunamatea earth. And those that think what we're doing is wrong in some way, shape, or form, because they still believe in the indoctrination of the man-made Bibles and all of the false prophets and all of the negative AI BS that gets sold to us, those people will stay in third dimensional Earth. And that planet is projected to implode within 1,000 years because of all the radiation, nuclear poisoning, horrific global events that will continue because of agendas being pushed and ignoring nature, ignoring our own best interest. It is and will be a slave planet until it is destroyed by itself. So only the beings that ascend and can ascend to fifth dimension will continue on. And this is not meant to be fear-based. This is just what I have come to understand, what many people have come to understand, what we have been guided to know, so that we can help change people's mind about the reality that they have actually created for themselves, that gave their power away. And now they're sitting back going, what the heck is going on in my world? Well, that's what's going on in your world. And it's up to you whether you want to stop it. So if you're interested in any of this that really resonates with you, and you're done being controlled, please click on the link in the description box. Come to Healing Disclosures on Telegram. That is our main landing page for our visitors. And let us know if you want to get an energy clearing session where you get cleared out of all the black goo and negative AI and black magic and all sorts of things that people have thrown at us being humans on this planet. We can help you with that. We can help you learn how to speak to your higher self and answer your own questions and not be dependent upon external sources of information. You take it straight to source. That's what I do. That's what most of us do. It's given us all a level of calm and peace and knowing that cannot come from an exterior source. It cannot. It's impossible. And so I highly encourage it. And just at a very, very minimum, ask those questions. Or is this app in my highest and best good? Is using the device as a smart home connection or connectivity in my highest and best good? You're not going to be able to get really good answers if you're not clear yet. That's just a fact. But you may already have a sense about them. And I'm here to tell you that sense that you get, if you get this feeling of foreboding or you get this uneasy feeling, that is your higher self. That is your soul telling you that it's not in your highest and best good and trying to get that message through the best way it can. So I hope you have enjoyed this message. I hope that it resonates with you. I hope you make some changes in your day-to-day life and you take your power back. Because at the end of the day, when we do that, we're no longer being controlled. We're living our highest and best life. And that is the best revenge that any of us could ever have. Have a great day.